My name is Matt Stempeck, and I got my start using technology to fight disinformation in 2011 when I started building what became Lazy Truth, which was one of the first disinformation fighting apps. It basically aggregated all of the fact checks out there and then applied them in your inbox. So, fast forward, I'm on the Hillary campaign in 2016, and I saw digital voter suppression. We actually noticed that people around the world were coordinating to use the internet to try to suppress votes and distract voters from participating in the election. The platforms didn't take the threat seriously at all, and you know what happened next. Also in 2016, I started curating the Civic Tech Field Guide, which is the largest collection of civic tech projects anywhere in the world. Part of that research is tracking all the projects to fight disinformation. We have a database with over 450 tools and programs that you can filter by geography and other factors. We'll put the link here in the show notes so you can see what's been done, fork some open source code, see what's working, and see what's failed. When I heard that Code for All and NDI were working together to learn how their networks and how civic tech specifically can confront disinformation, I was super interested to join the project. So I'm here to share with you today, lightning style, what we've learned so far. I'm going to tee up some of the greatest hits from our interviews, and I'll skip defining the problem because I think we all know what that's about, and get right into what civic tech organizations can do about disinformation.
With people that have been part of our trainings, by bringing them into a WhatsApp group setting, they see conversations that happen on social media and also news that are being spread through websites, especially those that are related to South Sudan, any suspicious content that they come across. And then they copy links or they put screenshots or they forward WhatsApp messages through that platform. So this is because of quality of internet we have here. Most people cannot afford buying expensive data rates that we have here. So they get internet access once in a while. So we're trying to review what content modality shall we adopt to be able to best fit the needs of our audience. We have got very big inspiration from Code for Africa, even from Code for All, because I am part of your Slack channels.
It's not rocket science. It's sort of what works in a lot of other spaces, getting people that communities trust. People are always going to just trust people that they know, and figuring out who those local leaders are. Local makes it seem that they need to be nearby. It's not even that. It's really just leaders for that community. I think fact checks are great. It will not help some of the people who are maybe already really far down a certain path. Having those community-specific leaders who are trustworthy, who can speak to something is really important. And that's going to be important in sort of any issue. It doesn't just have to be misinformation. It's impossible to scale, especially at the rate of misinformation on platforms. So there's always going to be that tension too. It's super effective, but really, really, really hard to scale. And I think creative solutions for that could be really great and exciting.
So for us, it is intentional to focus on issues that are current, issues that are actually directly impacting the society. And that is where storytelling comes in very, very handy. And it is deliberate because I have on my team people we call insights managers or insights editors. They are from an editorial, from a journalistic background. They look at the report you've done as Alan, me from a very cyber tech background. They read it and they're like, okay, the normal citizen will not even understand this. These people forget it in less than 2 days after you train them. It's only by giving them a fellowship and you tell them, we are training you to do this, but we will work with you to do several investigations within your fellowship time. After that, if someone learns to do something for a very long time, then it becomes something that is engraved in his mind. I always think about fact-checking as identifying the dots on a map. We now come and connect those dots to find what are the key narratives, what are the drivers, what are the actors behind it. And now we are able to solve the problem as a whole. But how do you package that to address the different audiences? Number one is try to identify the key narratives and the key tactics that disinformation actors are using. That speaks to the policymakers, that speaks to humanitarian organizations, the donors, the funders, and they actually are able to take action based on, this is the narrative we are seeing online. this is the tactic that they are using to share that. There is a proven model for coordinating disinformation at the moment, which is don't do it yourself.
We like to identify ourselves as ecosystem builders, right? And in being able to do that, we understand the necessity for us to sort of spearhead like projects that would affect a lot of people. So we employ locals, as you know, in the country. We always have in-country staff, and a lot of these in-country staff understand the languages locally, are able to interpret the languages, and are able to also produce content in those languages for easy dissemination. So you don't understand the local dialect, and you don't understand the lexicons, and therefore the words that you're going to be spotlighting as like trigger words. I think that people should find fundings that with organizations that the scope of work aligns with what they do. We work with journalists, so we cannot have, our funders suggesting how it's the editorial or limiting our editorial freedoms in any case or in any capacity. It's very important that our first, who we are doing it for is for the people.
So that was a super quick, you could even say lightning, overview of the first 4 research interviews we've done for this project. And you can learn much more about each organization and their work confronting disinformation on their profiles on the Code for All blog as they go live. That's at codeforall.org/blog. Thanks for tuning in.